Hello and welcome back to my series on international student debt. Now today we will be focusing on the consequences of not paying on your debt in Canada. In particular, I have come up with 6 ways in which debt can ruin your life here. Now let's just get right into it. So the first way is that debt can damage your credit score here. Now in Canada, you need to have a good credit score in order to afford big ticket items. So if you want a house or a car or to start a business, you would most likely need to borrow money for that. And now if you do have the money to purchase the big items by cash, that's okay and fine. If you have parents that have that kind of money or guardians, that's fine. But really, most people don't. And so you need to show lenders that you are capable of paying them back for any money that has been lent to you. Now, a credit score, which just is an assigned number based on your credit history, is a way to fully determine that. So any debt that you owe and then you're not making regular payments become part of that credit history and forms your credit score. Now, even if you get rid of that debt eventually, it does not come off your credit score or your credit history for at least 5 and most times 7 years. So you're pretty much stuck with a bad credit score for a long time. Now, the second way is that debt destroys your ability to pay and get essential items in Canada. Now, the Canadian financial and utility systems run on the ability to borrow money or services that you can pay for at a future period. Now, when you plan on getting either a cell phone here and a cell phone plan, or setting up internet for your house, or electricity, water, or gas for your home, or even if you want to rent an apartment here or a condo or a house, most of these places and the people that own these places require a credit check initially to see if they can rely on you paying your bills on time. Now, if you have a history of not paying your debt or not paying on time, they would not approve you for these items. Now, you can see why that would be a huge problem in Canada if you cannot afford housing. So pretty much you would have to go to terrible housing and really run down places that wouldn't ask for a credit check. Now, the third way is that lenders can sue you to recover their money, and you could get punitive damages for these type of issues. Now, if you do not pay your debt, lenders will come after you. Now, first of all, they will come after you by sending you reminders. And if you do not respond after a few months, they will then send your account to collections. Now, collections is usually an agency set up to recover debts. Now, if you do not respond to collections, they will then come after you with a lawsuit to reclaim the costs. Now, the lawsuit is usually for claims of higher amount. Now, let me give you an example of that. When I did not pay my school fees in my second year quickly of about 18,000 Canadian dollars, my school called me numerous times, and after a while I stopped responding to them. And so what they did was they sent that account and my money over to collections. And collections contacted me and I did not respond to them. And so what they did was they slapped me with a lawsuit. And if I was found guilty based on the lawsuit, there were going to be punitive damages that were added to how much I owed. One other case was really that my old phone company, took my account to collections over 16 cents that I owed. Now let me just make this clear. 16 cents, all right? And so they took my account to collections for 16 cents after I closed my cell phone plan with them. So, obviously I fought that amount, but really this is to show you that lenders can be extremely petty, even for ridiculously low amounts. Now, the fourth way debt can ruin your life is that lenders can also garnish your wages. Now, wage garnishment is a situation where lenders get a judgment from the court to seize money directly from your paycheck. Now, if you have a job, your employer must comply with that order to seize your money and move some of your wages towards the debt that you owe. So you would have a significantly lower paycheck than what you are working for. Now, even if you're self-employed, you cannot avoid this. What would happen is that if you have your money going to a bank or a credit union, they will seize it from that bank. and the money would go directly towards your debt. Now, this is a really serious measure, and most people that get their money involuntarily taken from them usually feel powerless, and it adds to their compounding financial issues, So this is something that I would avoid at all costs, and really just pay your loan voluntarily rather than involuntarily. Now, the other one is not really financial, this fifth one, but it is a real problem. So debt can actually affect potential romantic relationships that you can have. So believe it or not, people place importance on partners who have no financial issues. So financial issues usually are about managing money and debt properly. Now, if you do not know how to do that, and if you have significant number of debt, people consider that baggage that they don't want to handle. And so to know how serious this is, some people ask others about their credit score before even deciding to date them, because that is a very legitimate question. And now others have called off engagement when they found out that their partners have significant debts, and that's a huge problem. Now, others unfortunately find out way too late after they've married, and now they're really responsible for shouldering some of their partner's debt. And then others get divorced because there's just financial incompatibility that really puts a strain on their marriages. And the crux of the matter is that most people don't want to shoulder other people's debt. And so really having significant debt and refusing to pay that debt can reduce your potential dating pool. Now, the sixth reason is repossession or foreclosure. I'm sure you've heard of the repo man, right? And this usually has a negative connotation, but really a repo man is pretty much an agent paid to repossess items that were bought from lenders. So for example, if you bought a car through a car loan and you failed to make payments, the lender can repossess that car from you. Other things that can be repossessed are rent-to-own items such as furniture, lawn, kitchen appliances, other types of appliances as well, and also items used as collateral for a loan. So major examples of that are houses, condos, apartments, or land that you've stopped making payments on. And usually in those type of scenarios, when it comes to property, your lender will go through the process of foreclosure, which is really a legal process that allows your lender to sell your property to satisfy your loan debt. Now, in both cases, either a foreclosure or a repossession, to recover the amount that you own, your lender will sell your items, mostly through an auction, to recover most of their money. And then you're pretty much left with nothing, even though you put up initial money to lend or borrow those items, and you don't have them anymore. Now, dealing with unimaginable debt also puts a strain on your health, especially if you have to worry and stress about these potential consequences that could happen. And really, all of these consequences apply to international students, permanent residents, and citizens of Canada. But as an international student, you have less support of how to avoid and manage some of these consequences. And this is why it is especially important to always respond to your lenders. Now, I'm going to repeat this again. Always respond to your lenders. They are most times willing to work with you to see how you can pay off your debt. Because really, the truth is that lenders go through all these strategies, almost never recover all their money, and then they spend money trying to recover the money from you. So it is in everybody's best interest to work out a compromise. Now, if there's anything you need to take away from this series and this episode, is that if you do not pay your debt voluntarily, you will end up paying your debt involuntarily and at a higher cost to yourself. Now, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Check out my other series on credit card for international students, and do not forget to add yourself to my wait list on more information on how to avoid thousands of dollars mistakes while studying in Canada. The links are in the description and the comment below. Thank you, and see you on my next video.